Good afternoon. We're going to let people stream in with us here. Thank you so much for attending Jes-a-what, a session to learn more about Jesuit universities. This is hosted with WACAC, the Wisconsin Association for College Admissions Counseling, in conjunction with StriveScan. I have just a few housekeeping items to go through before we get off and running with our program this afternoon. First off, as you're entering the room with us, you're probably going to notice that your camera is off and you are muted. That is so that we can have great bandwidth for everyone participating today. Keep in mind that if you do have questions, you will use the Q&A function, and our fabulous panelists will try to answer as many questions as they can in the next 45 minutes. If they don't get to a question, though, keep in mind that we will be following up after the presentation today, which leads me to my final housekeeping item, and that is that these sessions are recorded. So if you have anything that you need to come back to this session for, or if you missed a session that you'd like to view, you will be able to do that on wacac.com, wacac.com. You can also check out other future sessions for the next week and a half as well. With that, I'm going to stop my screen share and turn it over to our fantastic panelists. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you all. So hopefully you are ready. We are so excited for you all to be here. Again, we are going to talk a little bit about Jesuit universities today. For those of you that don't know me, which probably is a lot of you, my name is Katie Schumacher. I am one of the assistant directors within the Office of Admissions at Marquette University. And my panelists will introduce themselves in just a little bit. But to kind of start, we know that you all have been doing a lot of virtual stuff, probably a lot of listening, and it can get a little bit tiring. We totally know that, especially having to see yourself in that corner video like all day. So we wanted to make it a little bit interactive. So we are going to use a tool called Mentimeter, which is essentially a live polling tool to kind of test your Jesuit knowledge. So I'm going to put some instructions up on the screen here. Hold on one second. So essentially what you'll do is if you go to your phone or another laptop or iPad, you'll go to menti.com and then enter in that code. And that code is the code particularly for our presentation. And you can also put the QR code if you're super savvy. I still don't get that, but put that code in. Once you put it in, it'll ask you to create like a little icon. And panelists, you're more than welcome to do this as well. It'll ask you to do like a little icon with who you are, and then that will kind of be your name throughout kind of our live polling. So the first question, and don't worry, the Mentimeter code will always be at the top, so if you forget or you need to reconnect, no worries, but how many Jesuit universities are there? So I'll give you a couple minutes to kind of get registered, kind of log in, and we'll kind of see what answers you all come up with. So either 17, 30, or 27. And yes, I know the map is behind there. It's still difficult to count, so hopefully you won't look too hard at that. But take a couple minutes, see what you think. And we will show the correct answer when it pops up. All right. I don't know if anyone's registering unless I'm missing something. If you guys have questions or you're not sure how it's working, just feel free to throw it in the chat. But all you gotta do is just go to menti.com and then use that code. And if our staff, what I can do is kind of show you how it works. All right. Let's see. It looks like my slides are freezing, but oh, there we go. Delayed response. Woohoo! Yay, technology. You guys are right. 27 Jesuit colleges and universities across the country. Woohoo. Sorry about that. Next question. What does the word modus mean? So this is going to be something that you actually type in, and then the people who have the kind of most correct, it'll pop up and show it the most. So more is the first answer. Other things, we'll wait. And you can kind of see at the bottom the live polling as well. More, excellence, magic. Ooh, magic would be great. I like that one. Okay, got 6 in there, but yes, it means more. So magis means the more. It's what we kind of hope for our students, that they become a greater version of themselves, and that they're more than when they came to our institutions. So that's really a part of our philosophy. Looks like I have to click back and forth, so weird tech stuff. Okay, last question. True or false? The Jesuits were known as the educators of society and the fathers of what we consider liberal arts education today. True or false? Go back. Yay, true. You all are correct. Yes, so that is kind of the main heart of, I would say, that defines the curriculum and kind of the academic side of Jesuit education is the core curriculum, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and just that liberal arts focus. So thanks for participating. It was a little weird they had to go back, but you all are very smart and you seem to know your Jesuit knowledge. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but first we're going to watch a quick video. Again, clearly I'm 0 for 3 with the tech right now, so hopefully this works. But this is just kind of an overview video of who we are as Jesuit institutions and kind of our mission overall.
It sounds like they're not hearing audio.
So I don't know if the audio worked for that. Probably I had the IM that it was not working. But we can kind of send that out. It's essentially just an overview of Jesuit education and kind of the history of who we are and what our mission is. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that to go over who we are and what the Jesuits kind of started as and things like that. So first and foremost, the Jesuits are an order of Catholic priests. They were founded over 600 years ago. You kind of saw that language there in the video. And at the core of Jesuit education is, again, that idea of that core curriculum, and then also that idea of service and social justice outside the classroom. They were very much known as educators. We talked about that. That was kind of one of our survey questions, that they were known as people who really looked at that big critical picture. How do we create critical thinkers? How do we think outside the box, ask those big questions, and kind of go beyond just your kind of sphere of influence? The mission of the Jesuits is the service of faith and the promotion of justice. I think it's really important to note that you don't have to be Catholic to come to any of our Jesuit institutions. That's just one part of our identity. And actually, the Jesuits are very much a promoter of interfaith across all different identities and all different faiths in the pursuit of walking with and serving others. We talked about that kind of key word of majes. Another word in Jesuit education that we like to use is men and women for and with others. And so that we're walking with those in our community, those who are related to our fields, and even those outside our fields as well. And a lot of that is rooted in this commitment to walking with others and being with others in whatever capacity that allows us, whether it is in our career field, whether it's outside our community, and that is our responsibility to care for and walk with others in whatever way we are called to. And part of the philosophy, which you can kind of tell is very much focused on kind of care for the entire person, that's kind of another aspect, is making sure our students are fulfilled, through their academics, and like I said before, through the core curriculum. And so you might hear at other institutions, this is called like your gen ed courses. Sometimes they're just random classes you take. There's not much maybe depth to them, but at our institutions, the core is really taking you outside of your major to expand upon those bigger questions. So you're going to take classes in philosophy, in theology. You're going to focus on things like environmental sustainability or social justice. And those might relate to what you do, but they might be totally different. And I think the Jesuits, we always say, teach you how to think, not what to think. And so we really believe that these core classes really help to kind of build that pedagogy and that kind of train of thought. And more importantly, I think thinking critically and thinking beyond yourself then lends itself to that inclusive lens and inclusivity across campus. Diversity is something that is very important to all of our campuses, especially during this time, and especially because at the core of who the Jesuits are is to serve and walk with those who are marginalized. And so you'll find that diversity is really important to our mission and to who we are, and to the Jesuits were as well. That care for the whole person is both in a spiritual sense, in a personal sense, in a financial sense. We're going to walk with you at every part of the way. And I think that is embodied in everything we do, again, from that academic side, from the professional side, and from kind of the student perspective as well. That also extends into care for one another. I think it's especially important during this time of COVID, during the pandemic, that we kind of utilize our kind of pursuit for the greater good in terms of making a difference in the lives of each other and making sure we're watching out for each other and being guided kind of by those ideas of ethics, of leadership, of serving others, and that we're one part of this great world, and how do we make a difference in a positive way. And many of the ways our students live out those things is through service, through different leadership roles, and then hopefully, that extends into their career after one of our Jesuit institutions. And then lastly, it's also really embedded into our admissions process and how we review. I think it's very easy for admissions professionals to say, like, we review holistically. I think that's a very kind of catchy word right now. But I can say, having worked at a Jesuit institution for 8 years, having gone to Marquette for my undergrad, Loyola Chicago for my grad program, being fully Jesuit educated, we truly accompany students in every part of the application process. We're looking to see how you're unique. What do you bring to our campus to be the difference? What identities, what thoughts, what different things help make our community richer? And so we truly do review holistically. We are reading your essays. We're walking with you as you start this new journey. And that's really important to us. And so I think the way that we live out our mission is just a testament to the fact that we do read holistically, because that's just part of the fabric of our institutions and of our mission. And it's kind of natural to what we do. Also at the core of that is finding your fit. All of us are different, even though we have kind of that underlying identity of being Jesuit. All of us have different things that we offer, and you'll get to hear about that from each of our panelists. But it's finding that personal fit, that financial fit, and that academic fit. Marquette might not be great for you. That's okay. We want you to succeed and figure out what institution is best for you to grow and for you to kind of continue your journey of whoever you want to be in whatever area that is. And some of you might not know, and that's okay too. We're here to really focus on educating you as an entire person. And so part of that is kind of engaging with us, asking those questions, hopefully seeing us today. You'll know that we're not scary. We aren't great with tech sometimes, but you can ask us questions, especially during a time that is really difficult and overwhelming. I always joke in my presentations that we put on our clothes the same way you do every morning. We are no different. And the greatest thing that you can do is be an advocate for yourself and engage with us and ask those questions. And so to kind of start the conversation about all of the different schools that we have and the ways that we're unique, Beth from Creighton is going to kind of start. As we continue to go through each presentation, if you have specific questions for that school, feel free to kind of type it in the chat, once that admissions counselor is done, and we can answer those questions. Or if you just have general questions at the end, we'll try to get to those as well. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Creighton.
Great, thanks, Kate. Hello, I'm Beth Piskull with Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska. I work with students from Illinois and Wisconsin and would love to have the chance to work with you. Creighton is a mid-sized Jesuit university with a national student body. 80% of our students come from outside the state of Nebraska. They come from each of the 50 states, 50 other countries. Our students enjoy a truly residential experience on a beautiful self-contained campus adjacent to downtown Omaha. All of the undergraduate colleges at Creighton are direct entry, and these include the College of Arts and Sciences, the Heider College of Business, and the College of Nursing. We have a graduate school, and our professional programs include medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, physician assistant, and law. Our enrollment's at 8,500, and for a school of our size, we are considered to be the most complex academically in the country. Creighton has long been known for strength in health science. Our health science options are expanding with the addition of a new campus in Phoenix, which will include a second Creighton Medical School that will open in 2021. This addition will make Creighton the largest Catholic healthcare educator in the nation. Our pre-professional students benefit from structured advising and from the fact that our professional programs grant an admission preference to Creighton undergraduate students. Our College of Nursing offers direct entry admission. Our nursing students complete more than 1,000 clinical hours and we've enjoyed 100% job placement for years, so that's exciting. We build study abroad into our nursing program, which is kind of unique, and have lots of nursing kids taking advantage of this every year. Creighton's Heider College of Business is the only university in the country to offer both a 4-year leadership development program and a 4-year career development program for all business students. Our business students benefit from being located in a city with more internship opportunities than we have students to fill them. I hope you can make a trip to Omaha. We are located in a city with a population of about 1 million. Omaha has a vibrant business climate, very strong Fortune 500 company presence, and provides amazing experiential learning opportunities for students. True to the ideals of Jesuit education, Creighton students are passionate about social justice and use their gifts to help. Last year, 8,500 students gave more than 1 million hours of service to the community. Local service opportunities are available to our students nearly every day of the school year. Hundreds of Creighton students take advantage of service trips during our spring and fall breaks. We also have a service learning campus in the Dominican Republic. Creighton students really are men and women for others. We are currently offering both in-person and virtual tours. Please reach out to me if you'd like to discuss this possibility. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay Fagerstrom. I'm a Senior Assistant Director from Loyola University, Chicago. I'm also a double alum of Loyola. So all in all, I've been able to call Loyola my home for the past 10 years now. I am the admission counselor for all Wisconsin students. So hopefully should you choose to apply to Loyola University, Chicago, I'm your contact and I'd be happy to help you every step of the way. I would love to have you come visit. We too are offering virtual and in-person visits right now. So we'd love for this to just be the starting point and to further connect with you later on campus or through any of our virtual engagement opportunities. But we are actually the largest of the 27 Jesuit colleges and universities. So with that, we have about 12,000 undergraduate students. So we are still a medium-sized school. With that, I think you do see some of the benefits of both smaller and larger institutions. Like a larger school, we have many different majors and minors to choose from, but like a smaller school, you really are going to get that sense of community on campus. Your professors are going to get to know you, your academic goals, and really be able to support you throughout your 4 years. So we have many different majors and programs, so I'm not going to highlight them all. We have several different schools, but all of them are direct entry, including our nursing and engineering and business programs. So you don't have to do any separate application later on. You're able to start right away. One of our most surprising factors to many of our students who come visit us for the first time is that we actually do have 2 campuses in the city of Chicago. The one you see on the photo there is our Lakeshore campus, which is our main campus. It is on the most northeastern corner of the city, right along the lake there, as you can see. And I think it's really unique because it does provide students with more of that traditional collegiate experience and feel than they typically expect when coming to Chicago for the first time. It's very different from our Water Tower campus, which is right downtown in the heart of the city. It's much more urban and gives you much more of the city experience, as it's comprised of 6 high-rise buildings. So we like to say at Loyola, you get the best of both worlds, the traditional collegiate experience and the urban and city one. And being in the city of Chicago is truly a benefit to our students, and Loyola really encourages students to go out and get that authentic Chicago experience along with their collegiate one, whether that's through extracurriculars and exploring the history and culture and museums available in the city, or if that's pursuing some form of experiential learning. So if you're a nursing student, that could be clinicals. Business and communication students are oftentimes doing internships. Our education students are student teaching. A lot of our STEM students are doing fieldwork and research. So again, no matter what you study, we're going to have tons of opportunities for you to get that hands-on experience before you even graduate. Last year, our students interned with over 675 different companies throughout the Chicagoland area, everything from startups and nonprofits, family-owned businesses to Fortune 500s, and a lot of our students are actually graduating now with upwards of 3 or 4 internships by the time they're done at Loyola, which I think that, along with their strong Jesuit education and academic experience on campus, really does assist them well in being successful at the time of graduation. 98% of our students are employed or pursuing graduate or doctoral degrees within 3 months of graduation. So basically by the end of summer, they've successfully moved on to their next stage. So we're really happy about that and look forward to hopefully helping you in the future can start your Loyola experience.
Hey y'all, my name is Michael Costanza and I represent Loyola New Orleans. We're different from Loyola Chicago, but it's not founded by the same people, the Jesuits, so that's why the same name. We are located in New Orleans, Louisiana, which is in the southern direction, but New Orleans is a city like no other. Very unique culture. You're going to eat a lot of great food, and you're always going to have something fun to do here in the city. Now, who we are, we're about 3,200 students, average of about 21 students in a class, 12-to-1 student-faculty ratio. But really what makes us unique and what my favorite part about Loyola New Orleans is the community we have on campus. And there's something great about having Jesuit ideals mixed with New Orleans culture that makes for a great student body. So we're about 60% out-of-state students. We're about 5% international students. And then we're about 45% students of color. So we've got a very diverse group here, racially, religiously, socioeconomically, but it's a great community. Just like New Orleans, you can walk down the street and talk to anybody. Everyone's creates a very welcoming atmosphere, especially in those small class sizes. And so just that collaborative culture on campus is really what I find most enjoyable. Now, what you're going to get in programs, we have a College of Business, Arts and Sciences, and Music and Fine Arts. We have a very creative program here with different majors like communications, graphic design, music, theater, fine arts, all those great things. So if you're a creative student, Loyola New Orleans is a great place for you. Other top majors, we have a great business program that leads into an MBA program. And then we also have a great pre-health program. So if you're looking to do pre-med or physical therapy or anything like that, we can branch it under pre-health. Now, the other great thing about Loyola New Orleans is that we have a lot of students that want to kind of create their own adventure. And so if you're a music student that really wants to do pre-med, we can do that. If you're a business student that has a science background, we can do that as well. And so we have a lot of students that are creating their own majors and doing their own things. And then really, we're a free application. You're able to apply Common App or Loyola application. But really, if you're able to come visit us, we have a virtual tour, but we are doing in-person campus tours as well. And so I think a trip to New Orleans is not hard to convince your parents to do, but come on down and come visit us. And if you have any questions for me, shoot them in the questionnaire.
Awesome. All right, so talking a little bit about Marquette, we are located right in your home state in good old Milwaukee. I actually have two local schools. I have Pius and Dominican High School, so shout out to any of those students who are in the room. I'm also, like I said, a proud alum, so I kind of have both of those perspectives. But just to kind of start off, we are kind of that medium-sized school, similar to kind of my previous colleagues. We are direct entry to all of our programs. The most popular or the most well-known at Marquette, I would say, is our College of Engineering, Health Sciences, and Nursing. In particular, for engineering, we have what's called a co-op program. Students can apply to work for an engineering firm at the end of their sophomore year and then work on and off for a year. So go to school a semester, work a semester, go to school a semester, work a semester. It does extend their stay at Marquette to 5 years. Then they have a full year of engineering experience. And on average, those students get paid about $2,500 a month. And they can do that co-op anywhere in the country. And that's really unique. It's one of the oldest co-op programs in the country. And so it's really well established. Students don't have to do that. But because we also offer internships and things like that and research, but it is quite popular. For our health sciences program, we do have a 5-year physician's assistant program, and we just built a brand new building for that because it is becoming more and more popular. So if that's something you're interested in, we do have that. We also have a direct entry physical therapy program, which is ranked 15th in the country, as well as a master in athletic training program as well. And a lot of those are direct entry. And so what that means is that you can start doing research as early as your freshman year. What you might find at larger institutions is you might apply to university, but then your sophomore year, you apply to the College of Business. And that's fine, but if you don't get in, you're kind of stuck. So the benefit of direct entry is that you're in right away. Like I said, we're located in the city of Milwaukee, which offers a lot of different opportunities, both professionally and socially. We're an hour and a half from Lake Michigan. We're right by Northwestern Mutual, Harley-Davidson, some of our Fortune 500 companies, and you get a bus pass. So you have access to the whole city. And then there's also a ton of great places to eat and explore. And it's very much a walking campus as well as a walking city. So our students get to kind of explore both. And it really allows our students to engage not only kind of in that professional and social sense, but also in that service sense as well. You can kind of see from the slide that we are also, in terms of the best value for an institution, I think it's really important to note that even though we are all private universities, we do have the opportunity to offer a lot of different scholarships. So even though that price tag might be a little bit higher, know that a lot of us have free applications. We're able to offer you those scholarships. And at Marquette, about 95% of our students receive some form of aid, whether that's merit-based aid or need-based aid. And then a lot of us have those high graduation rates where you're graduating in 4 years. And even if you have those accelerated programs, you're getting that advanced degree. So that's just kind of important to think about as well. And then lastly, a lot of people know Marquette because of our sports. We are in the Big East in D1 across all sports. That atmosphere and kind of that spirit is really, really felt on campus, and that sense of community, which I think is also amplified by the fact that you have to live in the residence halls freshman and sophomore year. But whenever people ask me like how to describe Marquette, I always say community. And I think that's really important, and that's embodied through, I think, the residency requirement, but also kind of this aura of just spirit on campus. I always jokingly say, once you drink the Marquette Kool-Aid, you're kind of done for. You're obsessed for life. We have an expansive alumni network that is really kind of everywhere. And so you'll always find that Marquette home wherever you are. And with that, I'll pass it on.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bibi Solomon, and I am the Rutgers representative for the state of Wisconsin. And just like everybody else, Rutgers is a Jesuit institution. We are located right in the heart of Kansas City, Missouri. So with a lot of things to do, ranging from sports, music, art, and fantastic barbecue. We are also the home of the 2020 Super Bowl champions, which feels like it was 5 years ago, but it was just in February. We are on the smaller spectrum, so with a total of 3,000 students, which makes your class size no more than 25 students. That's our population there. So again, we're one of the smaller Jesuit institutions. Rutgers offers over 70 academic programs with several direct entry admission opportunities also. And then part of that is that we do combine instructor-driven learning with real-world experiences through internships, co-ops, service immersion trips, shadowing opportunities, undergraduate researches. You can also start your freshman year, and then service learning classes, and finally study abroad. As you may have gathered, Jesuit institutions are firm believers that 40% you learn in the classroom and 60% you learn outside the classroom through a variety of involvement. So Rutgers offers over 70 clubs to participate in, such as sorority fraternity life, Voices for Justice, Active Minds, Leaders of Environmental Awareness and Protection, and much more. Sky's the limit, and there's something for everyone. We are Division II in athletics with 16 varsity sports, and we are members of the Great Lakes Valley Conference. In terms of upcoming updates to campus, we are growing as an institution with our new acquisition of St. Luke's College of Health Sciences, as we hope to train the next generation of nurses. So in addition to that, we are excited to be opening our College of Health Science building in 2022, so we are currently working on that project. Finally, we are also open for in-person campus visits and virtual visits, so I hope to further connect with you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lainey. I'm from St. Louis University. I'm the admission counselor that works with all of the students from, I call it the best of the upper Midwest, including Wisconsin, and I talk with my hands, so I apologize. I'll be your go-to gal throughout your admission and application journey. To start with the basics, SLU is located in St. Louis, Missouri. It's not too far from Wisconsin. It's about a 5.5-hour drive, maybe a 70-minute flight. We also do have a campus in Madrid, Spain, that a lot of our students like to study abroad at. We call it SLU Madrid. You can see on the infographic some of the very, very basics. We would be classified as one of those mid-sized Jesuit schools, so about 8,000 undergraduate students. That means we have the opportunities of a much larger school. So 90 undergraduate programs, a school of nursing, engineering, business, education, public health and social justice, while like also big sports. So 18 Division I sports, 150 campus organizations, but we also have that intimate classroom setup and intimate communities feeling on campus. So that average class size is about 26. You walk around campus, people recognize you, you're part of this big family. In terms of learning, we are ranked as a top 100 university with many of our programs as nationally ranked. We have several competitive direct entry only programs you'll see listed. So physical therapy, occupational therapy, nursing. Similar to some of my colleagues across the different universities here, we definitely are in that Jesuit mindset of cura personalis, believing that education happens inside and outside of the classroom. So I feel like I'm very much echoing Vivi here, but you're going to be challenged in the classroom, in your internships, in your labs, with your hands-on learning, but you're also going to be considering how you want to be in the world and who you want to be in the world. So that could be happening through your clubs and organizations that you're joining, or that can be happening in your casual conversations with your peers and with your mentors. A couple of fun, exciting updates this year. We opened 2 new buildings. So the first is our interdisciplinary science and engineering building. I'm thinking of it as a place where our STEM students and faculty get to come together and play, innovate. And we also, this coming Tuesday, are opening our new hospital. This is a really big deal to us. It's the first Trauma One center to be built in the St. Louis region in 27 years. So it's a really great way that we get to show up for our community and care for our neighbors. So really exciting way to live out that Jesuit mission. If you haven't been to St. Louis, it's an awesome city. I feel like I can say that because I'm from the West Coast and the place I left was pretty cool too. But I love St. Louis. We have 9 Fortune 500 companies. And it's known as a top city for startups. The Cortex Innovation District is just off campus, so students will engage there. There's amazing food. If you need restaurant recommendations, please reach out. I have a whole list that I send, but you can't leave without having gooey butter cake because it will change your life. It's so good. Also, we have an arch, so only city in the world has one. The last thing I'll leave you with is just a note on our mascot. If you're not familiar, our mascot is the Billiken. Kind of looks like this gargoyle creature. He's actually a representation of good luck and the way things ought to be. So if I can leave you with any encouragement, it's to try to find yourself an institution that's going to grow you into the best version of yourself and help you feel confident going out in the world and making it the way you think it ought to be. All of these institutions are great choices. And now I'm going to pass the mic.
Hello, everybody. My name is Yoel Bell-Mengistu, and I am the admissions counselor in the undergraduate admissions office at SU that covers the kind of Midwest area, including Wisconsin. So I'm happy to be here today. Seattle University, of course, is one of the 27 Jesuit colleges in the US, located right in the heart of the city of Seattle, as you can see with that great aerial shot. We operate about 54-acre campus in the heart of the city in the neighborhood called Capitol Hill, which is considered the music and arts district of Seattle. We have about 7,400 total students on our campus. That includes undergraduate students, graduate students, as well as students within our law school. And then in terms of undergraduate students, you're looking at about 4,700 undergrads. And so class sizes are going to range anywhere from about 18 to 25 students. So you'll never have more than 30 students in a class, and you'll never have less than like 5 students. So again, that 18 to 25 sweet spot is kind of the really big focus for us in terms of being able to make sure that we are kind of helping students in the classroom in terms of understanding the material, but also benefiting from a smaller class size in terms of connecting with their colleagues and their classmates in the classroom. We have about 60 plus different majors at Seattle U that represent a wide range of different subject areas, including the sciences, social sciences, humanities, with of course a big focus in the liberal arts as a Jesuit institution. However, because we're in Seattle, we are kind of located in the home of many great industries, including technology, and healthcare, nonprofit. So one of the bigger majors at Seattle University are, of course, our computer science, which is becoming one of our fastest growing majors on campus. And then, of course, many of the majors in our engineering department. And then, of course, our College of Nursing in our nursing program. Seattle University is located near 4 hospitals within walking distance of our campus. So, of course, being able to do those nursing clinicals within the nursing program is always a big benefit for our students, not having to go too far away from campus. And one of the things to note about our kind of commitment to the science and engineering fields is we are currently building a new Center for Science and Innovation, which is going to house our computer science programs, of course, our biology programs and our chemistry programs. So there's going to be a ton of labs, maker spaces, and then a lot of classrooms for our students to be able to kind of, again, connect with the sciences, but also, again, allow our students to have opportunities to connect to the wider resources available in Seattle that are offered through the technology and engineering fields. We are a Division I NCAA institution. We have about 20 different sports programs on our campus. We compete in the Western Athletic Conference with many colleges that are in that conference across the West Coast. And then, of course, in terms of just some of the things to note about Seattle University in terms of our student body and just kind of our campus, Seattle University is really, again, committed to our mission, committed to the Jesuit philosophy. So, of course, within that core curriculum, as Katie mentioned earlier, a lot of our classes are really focused on developing you as a whole person and allowing you to, again, think about how you can use your education to really give back, not only, again, to help you kind of reach those professional goals that you have in place, but ultimately help you kind of think about how that education can be used in your communities. So, of course, because we're located in the city of Seattle, we're located near so many great opportunities in terms of professional development opportunities. Amazon's main campus is located about 10 minutes from our campus. Seattle is home to Zillow, is home to Microsoft, Nintendo of America. There's so many great industries and so many different Fortune 500 companies where our students are able to connect professionally and hopefully continue to develop some of those skills they're learning in the classroom outside of it. But one of the things that I want to, again, kind of help students think about too is just thinking about how your education can give back to the communities that you're in. And I think that is time. Thank you.
Okay, Yobel, I got 30 seconds to share a little bit about Xavier. That's the perils of being last in the alphabet. I'm Julie Nelson. I'm the Regional Recruitment Director. I'm going to leave you with these 3 things. Number 1, we are Xavier Musketeers, and we really embrace that Musketeer spirit of all for one and one for all. You're going to find an atmosphere of both collegiality on campus. Certainly you're going to have friends. You're going to meet people who are very different than you. Most of our students come from outside of Ohio. So you get a great chance to really learn in the Jesuit way, but learn from your peers as well. So that's number 1, all for one, one for all. The other piece of it is I feel that Xavier students are the kinds of people who are going to take their studies very seriously, but not take themselves too seriously. And I think that's what college is all about. You're going to learn something to help you be better in the future, but you certainly want to have that time to kick back, to make some friends, to have a little bit of fun on campus and see what Cincinnati has to offer. Being one of the 24 largest metro areas in the country, you'll find all kinds of things to do. And the last thing I want to leave you with about Xavier that I am certain none of my colleagues can say, we were the first school in North America with a pizza ATM. If that's not enough to get you to visit campus, I don't know what is. Katie.
Awesome. Thanks for that speedy ending there. A lot of good information. We want to just kind of post our info at the very end here. So if you want to ask us any questions, you want to drill Julie with some more questions about how awesome Xavier is, just feel free to send us an email. You can also, of course, go to any of our websites and check in that way. We are all doing virtual visits, and it seems like also in-person visits. So take a look at those. Thanks so much for joining us, and I'll hand it over to our WCAG person.
You guys did such a wonderful job finishing that up so quickly there at the end. Good job. And I'm going to have to check out the pizza vending machine. That sounds pretty fantastic. So you should be looking at my final close slide. So I just want to say thank you so much again for joining us to learn more about our Jesuit institutions. Myself coming from a Franciscan school, it was fun to hear about the things that make Jesuit institutions unique. A couple final housekeeping things. There is a quick survey when I close the session today for our participants. So if you would take just a few minutes and answer the 4 questions there, that will help StriveScan and WACAC improve any future programming. Additionally, head over to wacac.com, that's WACAC.com, to sign up for any future sessions. We've still got a week and a half of college exploration weeks going on. And then finally, if you joined us here late today or you want to come back and listen to the session again or other sessions, all of our sessions are recorded and they will be posted again at that same website, which is wacac.com. Thanks so much to everyone for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your day.